Hello, my friends. Welcome to a new episode of The Power of Surrender, where every day we take a card from the Power of Surrender deck by Dr Judith Orloff, and we discuss a card every day for your inspiration and food for thought, and in these challenging times that we're living in. Now, in case you're wondering why is there a different background, we've done 30 episodes so far of The Power of Surrender with Hugh, and we have 22 to go. There's 52 cards in this deck, and I just decided, why not change up the background for the last 22 episodes. And today's card is Surrender to Complete Healing. Now, some of you may be wondering, what does it mean by complete healing? So let me read the card to you and tell you what it says. Let me see, it's better here. Here we go. It says, open fully to the loving, compassionate forces of the universe that support your physical, emotional, and spiritual healing. I'll read that again so it's absolutely clear. It said, open fully to the loving, compassionate forces of the universe that support your physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being. Now, this can mean several different things. On one level, I feel like it's saying, there is within some medical, I guess you could say, perspectives on things, it's very quick to just go pop a pill and fix a problem that way. Whereas this card is suggesting putting a little bit more faith and trust in the universe to take care of you. Also, it means putting more trust and time and effort and energy into things like grounding and meditation, prayer, those type of things. Having a little bit more faith that doing things in a more natural way can help you. And undoubtedly there are times where there are medications or ointments or different things that can help us along the way, but for the ultimate, physical, emotional, spiritual well-being, this is asking you to have a faith in the universe and trust in the universe a little bit more in regard to that type of healing. Because complete healing is not just, I feel better now, I can go out and start walking again. Complete healing is emotional healing, is spiritual healing, is physical healing. And really what's going to give the complete healing, literally, is going to be all those three things. Putting the time in emotionally or spiritually, putting in the work into those things to better yourself, knowing that that's going to give you a more overall complete healing. And that means, taking time to go through the things that we've struggled with emotionally, and sometimes the spiritual work can be working on both the emotional and the spiritual at the same time, and sneaking in, although we're not necessarily always aware of it. But sometimes when you're doing things like grounding or you're doing things like meditating, it is actually affecting your whole body physically as well. It's not just a mental and spiritual thing. So I think this is what this card is talking about in terms of overall healing. And this is like, by saying surrender to complete healing, it really is talking very, very specifically about, don't just be dependent on one way of doing it. In the same way that I think anyone would say meditation is great, grounding is great, but there's no harm in if you have a doctor that you trust in going and getting your checkups and making sure that you're doing okay, or if it's not a regular medical doctor, if it's acupuncturist, whatever it is that you're doing. So for me, it's a constant thing that I'm working on, trying to make sure that you're doing enough physical exercise, trying to make sure that you are taking care of yourself on many different levels. You're doing the spiritual work. It's something where we have to kind of constantly monitor it. I was just watching an interview there with Matthew McConaughey. He has this very interesting book, which I'm looking forward to reading, called Green Lights. And it's basically about he's written a diary, kept a diary for the past 36 years. And he went back through the diary, and it's very interesting because he's talking about noticing that he was initially only writing in the diary when things were going wrong. But then what he started to do is when things were going really right in his life, he wrote down all the things that were happening and who he was hanging out with and what he was doing, to see a pattern of behavior or a frequency that one was in, that good things were happening. I thought that was really interesting. It's something, I keep journals myself, and it is, I go back sometimes and read them, and it gives me a very interesting insight to where I was at mentally and the things I write, and it's just, and then seeing the difference between then and now. But the reason I'm bringing that up is because he was talking about, recognizing the things that we do that enable us to be successful are the times when we are happiest. And he made comments like, if I'm not like playful and smiling and winking and joking, then I'm not being me. And so there are all these different things, but basically that's connected to complete healing, because healing is a state of mind that we're in, because you normally tend to find people who are very happy and upbeat tend to be very healthy as well, because they're in a nice state of mind. They're in a kind of a nice vibration, and as Nikola Tesla always said, the vibration is such an important part of energy, frequency, and vibration are basically the secrets of the universe. So if you're at a nice vibration and you're feeling good and you're in a positive frame of mind, and then you're doing your spiritual work, which is knock-on emotional and physical work, and you're doing exercise and you're getting your heart going. These are all, it's a combination of all these different things, and doing little things to take care of yourself, taking time for yourself, for your own, filling up your own cup, so to speak. And that can be, again, in meditation as well, and other things we can do, like journaling. So very interesting. I'm looking forward to reading that book. I'm sure some of you will probably find it interesting after hearing me talk about it there as well. So again, Surrender to Complete Healing. I definitely would suggest, I don't know if you guys have not journaled before, it's a really interesting exercise to do. It helps you, it's therapeutic in the moment, it helps you figure things out. It's like having a conversation with yourself in a way. And sometimes I write in there and I'll go back and read it a couple of days later, and it kind of helps clarify certain things and get stuff out. But also it's great to look back on later, in the way now he's looked back and turned it into a book. But it's just interesting, the things that you learn about yourself from reading in your journal. So my friends, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Just remember, I do daily cards on Hugh Readings on Instagram, and tonight actually, every Friday at 8 p.m. On Facebook, Hugh Readings, we do a weekly live where I pick cards for you all live. I pick 2 cards generally for everybody, and then I pick 1 individual card for everyone who comes on as well. So please join us. We have a nice community of people who come on there, and everybody seems to benefit from every card that I pick. There's always food for thought and inspiration. So my friends, I'll see you tomorrow for another episode. Take care. Boom.